An important part of cooking is making sure the ingredients absorb the flavors in the dish. To that end, a chef must be able to wield a knife with the same level of precision as a surgeon. Practice makes perfect.
Excellent. Question lang din. Gusto ko lang
I bet I could put ingredients in the snow instead of a freezer.
There's always a way. We'll find it.
Dedo itlita. Dito para may lalagin po. Login karo. Dia full emang dan muka. Terang apa tuh?
Bon appetit!
Rise with the sun!
Yang taruh lagi tak konser. Ikat mati-mati orang yang sound piston gitu.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. Wanna split it? Rev the engines!
Dia story ada tuh bed.
Drive carefully, all right? You don't want to end up in this situation again. Also, I don't think I've seen a train like this before. Is it a new model or something? Not a fan of small talk, are you? Anyway, take this. It's an up-to-date map of the Snezhnayan rail network. All the track switching is automated, so as long as the train's moving, you don't need to worry about collisions or anything. We'll leave you to examine the train's conditions yourselves. Fingers crossed nothing's broken. I doubt Sir Tomaros has any engineers with experience working on this model.
Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks for everything.
All right then. Have a safe journey. And make sure to check everything's working before you set off.
Not to worry. Opportunity favors the prepared.
அதான் படிப்போம்.
Alright. Looks like our destination settings have been applied. Let's give this thing a final once-over and then head out. Goggles, your time to shine.
Affirmative. Running vehicle diagnostics.
What's this?
Engine, green. Wheels, green. Frame, minor damage, but no impact on function. Diagnostics complete. All systems nominal.
Neat! Huh. Paimon still can't get over the fact that you just found this tech lying around in a random cave.
I've lived in Snezhnaya my whole life, and I've never heard of an interactive, talking train autopilot.
Strictly speaking, I wasn't designed purely to drive trains, though I doubt you have any interest in navigating the practically unreadable operator's manual yourself. All configurations are complete. Should you require any further assistance, please call for the Eye of Grey.
Away we go! Ooh, nope. Paimon's gonna find a warmer seat. Huh? What's going on?
Hello.
Oh no.
What is this place? Traveler, are you okay? Paimon's still airborne, but it feels like swimming through thick, gloopy water. It's horrible.
Just our luck. Of all the things that could have gone wrong.
Halosha, you're Snezhnayan, right? Any idea what the heck this place is?
It's called the Shadow Realm. A place where no wind blows, no light shines, and no elemental energy flows. Even time itself doesn't exist here. It's a world where everything seems to come to a standstill. I've only seen it a few times before, and this is my first time inside. It's a dangerous place. Most people who get sucked into the Shadow Realm are never seen again. And the few who do make it back, they're never quite the same.
Huh? Then what the heck do we do now? Oh, maybe Goggles knows something. Goggles? Great! Now we're done for!
Hold it together. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I heard a story once about the world of shadows. If it's true, there's a way to escape. We just need to find the exit. Come on, let's explore.
Look at these Fatui! It's like they've lost their minds!
Their shadows have been devoured. They're no longer amongst the living.
Let's hammer this out.
I can't channel elemental energy here, but I have a few gadgets that still work.
Oh. எங்கேயோ இட்டு வந்து விட்டேன்.
Wait! What's that blue thing? Is that... Goggles?
Guess we'd better find a way over.
I'll take point.
This is the last one.
What do we do next?
Play it by ear.
Goggles!
Hello. I am glad to see the three of you safe and sound.
For now, at least. But things aren't looking too good.
Correct. We are now inside what is known as the Shadow Realm, the darkest space in the shell, where even the Most High is loath to cast its gaze. Time and space hold no meaning here. It intersects with the world of the Light Realm only rarely, like an air bubble that rises to the water's surface. We must leave this place before it sinks back down into the depths once more.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Yes. In fact, the very purpose of my creation was likely to... from the Shadow Realm. It appears that key data is currently inaccessible, but now is not the time to resolve that problem. I have marked the exit to the Shadow Realm for your convenience. In addition, I have prepared some equipment to aid you as you traverse the Shadow Realm, Traveler. It may well be one of my core functions. Scan complete. Construction in progress. Activation code? We once peered into the past from the ruins of the shadows. This is what remains of the Golden City, Hyperborea.
இன்னும் வந்துட்டான் கையில பொருள் கொடுத்துட்டானுங்க அதுக்கப்புறம் அடி மட்டும் பேச்சுக்கு இடமே இல்லை.
Whoa!
Now go. Arm yourselves with weapons of the spirit. Bring down the walls of the stronghold and extinguish the flaming arrows of the wicked.
Is this a gun?
In the Shadow Realm, where humans cannot channel the elements, there once was one who, after much research and many attempts, found this to be the most effective means of attack. Let's go. We don't have much time. When you encounter small obstacles, you can simply clamber over them. You can slide to navigate through low, narrow tunnels. Obstruction ahead. You may be able to use the Since elemental energy is unavailable in the Shadow Realm, ammunition is an important resource. You can replenish. For long-range targets, try using the scope to line up your shot. Many hostile units approaching. I suggest a new
Need a pet losing ground. Can't take much more.
More enemies detected. Try attacking with the newly unlocked Assault function.
State number 2. Mind the rhythm.
Defenses have been breached.
Light 'em up. Need a refill.
Like or something that aim will be reduced the number of freeze marks. Okay. Cherry.
Aim at the freeze mark and pull the trigger to move using the rope.
Press the advantage! Can't take much more. Not good. Can't take much more. Fall back.
Mind the rhythm.
Some supply points can restore a small amount of stamina. Press on.
Time to catch my breath. Nice.
You should be able to use the prime ice construct left here to cover long distances.
Mind the rhythm.
Yeah. கொடுத்துடலாம்.
How do we get over there now?
I recommend using this grappling gun. Such devices were originally used to secure structures in the Shadow Realm. If you detach the connected hook, the grappling gun will automatically fire a rope to another nearby hook.
Okay. So, we just removed this hook, right?
Okay, பண்ணியாச்சு. அவன் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருப்பான்.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
The defenses have been breached! Where's the back?
Sprint at the prime ice launcher to reach high places with ease.
Defenses have been breached! Fall back!
Back in business.
Can't take much more! Where's the...
Need a refill.
Usable munitions detected. Frag crystal.
Try this.
Defenses have losing ground!
Back in business.
Much more! It's over.
Ha.
Clear the advantage! Die! Where's this? Requesting backup! Not good. Over.
Whoa, careful!
Shift your center of gravity and slide down.
Ah.
How much longer is this gonna take?
The exit is right ahead. We are very close now. However...
It's like they're trying to keep us trapped here. That platform and the carriages are swarming with undead Fatui. Guess we gotta storm through.
Time to catch my breath. Frag out! Try this! Back in business.
Fire up mode.
You may find switching to assault mode makes your attacks more effective.
Heavy map, huh?
recharge!
Come on! We're almost there! Huh?
Namma,
Why is
ada
everything shaking so much?
Looks like the Shadow Realm is about to sink back down into the depths.
The exit is right here.
You mean this weird bubble thing? Wait, how exactly do we...
No time to think. We just gotta go for it. Looks like I was right.
Mhm. Ay, sampai ako lupa.
I can't believe the Shadow Realm manifested right on the railroad tracks. It's almost unheard of. Lucky we made it out. All thanks to you and that awesome gun.
Ah, so you have heard of the Golden City before?
Yeah, it came up a whole bunch in Nokrai. You're a pretty neat surprise in that sense, aren't you, Goggles? We had no idea they left cool gadgets like you behind.
Udah. Tuh.
Make no mistake, it was a team effort. For a first-time firearm user, your performance was quite outstanding, far beyond my expectations. As Alosha said, it is highly unusual for the Shadow Realm to manifest in a place like this, but we should still watch out for similar dangers ahead.
Oh, let's hope not. If anything else goes wrong with this trip, Paimon's gonna have train trauma for life.
The Shadow Realm can appear anywhere, not just on the railroad. I am simply advising that we take sensible precautions. Now, if you wish to further calibrate and upgrade your firearm, you may do so over there, provided you have the necessary components. Please take a moment to catch your breath while I repair the body of the train. Amongst other things, this will ensure Paimon is a little warmer while on board.
Oh, thanks, Goggles. You're a trusty train conductor. Well, maybe trusty isn't quite the right word, considering. Anyway, at least you get the job done.
Yes, of course. And just like the Eye of Grey, I am sure it will be a great asset to you in your future adventures. If not the trustiest, then it will at least get the job done.
Let's get some fresh air while the Eye of Grey fixes the train.
Yeah, sure. Paimon wants to forget all about the Shadow Realm. It was so creepy in there. Stretching our legs might help take our mind off things. It's so quiet here for a train station. Not a person in sight. Just abandoned houses. Huh? So much for repair? You've swapped our train out for a whole new model!
My plan was to restore the train to its original appearance per my records as quickly as possible. Now that the repairs are complete, the train offers optimized performance and a significantly improved trendiness level.
Didn't know trendiness was a parameter.
According to my calculations, parameterization is the most effective way for the Eye of Grey to understand trendiness.
Hyperborea, huh? I'm sure I've heard of that in a story somewhere. What an incredible little gadget you are.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. Want to split it? Just kidding. You can take it.
They really had to build the railroad over a canyon, huh?
You might want to avoid looking down if you're afraid of heights.
No, it's not that. Paimon's just praying that we don't have yet another accident.
இது மாதிரிலாம் ஓடுதே.
That mountain is breathtaking. Reminds Paimon of Dragon Spine.
They say this mountain's the domain of a Snegovic lord. A lot of the Snegovic retreated there to live in seclusion, so it's a pretty mysterious place. You hear all kinds of stories. Even the residents of the nearby town of Svietlo-Lidovka steer clear of the summit, and they make a living off of harvesting prime ice. Look, Snezhnograd's just up ahead.
Wow.
Here we are. Welcome to Snezhnograd train station, the biggest transport hub in the nation.
Wow! It's so majestic! Just flying from one side to the other would probably leave Paimon out of breath!
It's built for maximum efficiency, but yes, transferring trains here can be a little tiring. In the future, you can use this train station to travel anywhere you want in Snezhnaya. For now, though, come with me. Let's get Paimon checked out. This way. There's a lift car that goes straight to Sapoliarny.
Oh, pasará. Estamos pasando da porta.
I'm awake now. My potted plant on the porch has died again. I was watering it every day. Ugh, don't tell me I overdid it this time. Bring it!
Look! Look! They have really funny-looking heads! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkudlak and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovic amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now.
Line நினைக்கிறேன் சக்கர் லைன் வேற கிடையாது.
To the left is the market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolyevsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible!
வேணும்.
Wow! Snezhnegrad is stunning! Seeing it with our own eyes makes all the trouble we went through to get here worth it!
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. The prices here are crazy. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time. This way will take us to Podvorier restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be stunningly...
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way! Not a chance Paimon's staying anywhere like that. Maybe we can split the cost of the room between us? Paimon still has some savings left. Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry, you'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Zapoliarny Palace, which serves as the Tsaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters. The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions factory known as the Armory Palace, producing a constant supply of all kinds of equipment for the Fatui. A lot of important research happens there too. And over there is the Snezhnegrad Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions. These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah, they probably have super strict security. We're not looking for trouble right now.
The downtown area is near the center of Zapoliarny. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the Northland Bank, which is over this way. Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
No one practices alchemy at Snezhnegrad, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh. We'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient. Wait.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Still, I wouldn't say the absence of alchemy makes life here any less convenient. Anyway... Finally, there's Zolny in that direction. It's mostly residential buildings and factories, but there's a few shops too. Or that's about it.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Podvorier restaurant.
Yep.
Full throttle!
This place is as noisy as
Hip. Hip. Try and stop me!
You all missed the good times.
பார்த்துக்கு பண்ணி கிடச்சிருச்சா சந்தோஷம்.
Missed it again.
பண்ணிட்டு ஆல்ரெடி. ஆனா பெருசா எதிர்பார்க்கல அது. பண்ண எதிர்பார்க்கல இருக்குது ஆல்ரெடி. அப்படியே விட்டேன்.
You all. Get the temperature wrong and the details suffer. Get the details wrong.
சுடுங்க.
That kid. It's a strange fizzy tale he watched. It's strange.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned. Obviously, the million more question is, what is this Aritza planning? Everything sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the set, but we won't get to see her anytime soon. Alosha said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only Paimon can think of a few people who might be right. And when we left Nagcry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us, so it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Saritsa. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Gloopov place is right nearby. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino, but it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino. Let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in our lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right?
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Alosha!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna...
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say...
It'll be fine. Paimon's, right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal range. I can give you some medicine to tide you over. But as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor, hey, no big deal. You saved...
All right, time to find Child and see what he can tell me.
Pengen yang panggil so.
Rev the engines!
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just... But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's... Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If Child is unavailable... Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present, even if you two are old friends as you claim. Please understand that the Fatui Harbor... Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easy. Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's his first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that he doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No... That was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need. All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot... Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either.
The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a harbinger, I have to lead by example. On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why.
Drill master.
Bring it! Try and stop me!
I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vetcha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuja. It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vetcha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liu-S situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along. Right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. with the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right? Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And, all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time. What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken. Having a voice in the Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a... Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting. But since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me? Huh? Jealous? As if. Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Not Cry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart? You... fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before. Fixing the trap.
The equipment in Svietlo-Lightovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is the supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a near... Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation. But we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Pavourier restaurant. Find his room and watch it like a hawk until we get back. If anything happens to Paimon...
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Ad Astra.
Thank you for
Ad Astra.
Hey, not a bad haul. Try and stop me! Bring it!
They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest. Meet me back here as soon...
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnegrad. Well, I'm Odette. Good to meet you.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and let's go.
Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent.
Stay back!
Crystalline Adagio. I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move. Together.
Thunderclap!
Lots of the snowflakes.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster fodder.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow this route out.
Thank you. Come on.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat. Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place. There's something unusual about it.
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run! Thanks. Let's get out of here. Everyone's accounted for. We managed. You really held your own today. Don't. Alright then. Hello?
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korailievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa. On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... Never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me a little longer without Polonia's help. But the outcome is the same, of course. Even if the heavy snow... All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget. Then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a that's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how smoothly it goes. Yup, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
The snow has eased a little for now. Fuel for heating. It just...
Hey, quit daydreaming. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for second-hand swords.
confining themselves to the heavens. God should broaden their horizons in the world below. Nice and cool. Natland doesn't have places like this.
Full throttle! Bring it!
Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real Big Shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Lajdovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuja, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuja. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse him? What does he mean, refuse to stand up for ordinary people?
Oh my gosh. How does he dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where he's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuzha seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know. But maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuzha outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in VII meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the VII, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Svietlo Lidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the VII who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned his name so far, and no details of his experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right, I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned traveler, who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Poor thing. Reminds me of when Tonya was little. She really felt the cold back then. Used to get ill all the time. I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. Whenever someone came to visit her, she'd greet them with a smile and would never complain. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can recover in peace.
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov anyway.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right. I have things to do. Things I want to do. And things I ought to do. To start with, I should ask Alosha if he knows any way to help Svietlo Lydovka. How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord. It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? But all it does is vibrate, even when I touch it. That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try channeling the power of cryo. There really is something special about this sword. I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven. In the meantime, I'd better go find Alosha.
Rev the engines! Nice and cool.
Bring it!
Full throttle! Rev the engines! Try and stop Rev the engines! Try and stop me!
Bring it!
Full throttle! Rev the engines! Try and stop me!
Hello there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing. Give me a second. I'll go fetch them for you. It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnegrad doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what's the point in even calling it emergency relief? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Stratomeros will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Stratomeros' energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. There's no way they can use it up at once. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Probably a good idea, since energy prices are only going to keep rising. But there will always be people who urgently need Mora. Exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
1 second, let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford. No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides,
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take a look. Let's see. Huh?
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello?
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars, so I've met her a few times. When the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly in Sviatlo-Lidovka. So, what brings you here, Miss Odette? Looking for some new props?
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Sviatlo-Lidovka. It bothered me so much I couldn't focus on my dancing. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I suppose that's why you're here. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me don't even know what Project Stuja is all about. Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me, I can't just keep going along with it.
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explains why groups like the Roadcott are springing up to fill the gap.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that. The Fatui does not encourage their activities.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do. I've heard about a few cases like that.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuja is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. There may be more to the story.
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny. I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. I can claim it back as mission expenses. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Crescent Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure. That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are a dancer.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any idea how
What's wrong?
His travel buddy, hasn't been feeling well. She caught a cold right after they got to Snezhnaya.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietlo-Laidovka. Plus, I know a little bit about relieving cold symptoms.
All right then, let's go. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished.
Exploration and trials. Adventuring is